So let's now finish off our home page with a few fancy effects. So a few motion effects, a few scrolling effects, and a few mouse cursor effects. So let's get into that now. We can see we already have the one motion effect where when we scroll down, it's a scroll effect. It moves with a horizontal movement. So that is the only effect that we have at the minute. But let's say that we want to add some effects to this image. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to duplicate this whole section. And then I'm just going to change the flow. So just flip that flow of this top level container so that it's reversed. Again, doesn't matter about the text because it doesn't make a blind bit of difference for you. So I'm literally just going to edit it slightly, just so that it looks slightly different, but I'm going to edit this picture. So I'm going to attach this image, this new image, as a resource to this lesson. So wherever I have saved it, where is it? So yours will be in a different folder, of course, but this one is going to be here. That's going to be this one. Oh, why have I just opened that? That wasn't what I meant to do. So this image here is what we're going to be using in this lesson. Let's change that image here by coming up to the top, and we can drag the image that we want in. And then we can select it so that we have a different image there. So that is that taken care of. Now I'm just going to remove the, that just swapped over positions, didn't it? I'm going to remove the background from this bottom container just so that it's not exactly the same. In fact, we could even just change that to a cover so that it is in different positions. So that's okay like it is. So now let's actually start playing around with some effects. So let's say, for example, we want there to be I think a mouse, a cursor would be pretty cool effect to apply to these two images. Hold on, it is still the same image. That's strange. Let's select that one. That's okay. So let's actually do that now. So to do that, what we want to do is select the first image up here. We're going to come to Advanced. We're going to come down to Motion Effects, and we are going to do Mouse Effects this time. So we're going to do a mouse track. We're going to go direct. So as we move it left and right, that image moves with our mouse. So that looks pretty cool. You can, of course, increase this as much as you want. I'm going to leave that as maybe 1.5. 1.5 is cool. And I'm going to do exactly the same to this one. So let's now come down to this image. I'm going to come to Advanced. We are going to come down to Motion Effects, Mouse Effects, Mouse Track, Direct. Again, I think maybe 1.5 is too much. I'm going to change that to maybe 1.2. 1.2 is still quite a lot. Let's leave it with 1.2. I'm going to change the top one up to 1.2 as well. So that was 1.5 at the minute, wasn't it? So 1.2, and that is some cool mouse effects. So also what we could do is add in a sliding effect for this section up here. So let's come up to Advanced. So we're going to do not transform, we're going to do a motion effect. So entrance animation, let's do a slide in left. So it slides in. So that is okay like that. Animation duration, let's say fast. We want it to slide in fast. And then if we come down, we'll do the same to this container. Only this time we'll do a slide in right. So motion effects, entrance animation, slide in right. We'll again change that. In fact, I'm going to keep that normal. And I'm going to change this to normal as well. So this container, motion effects, slide in normal. Oh, no, not fast, normal. So that is that and that taken care of. So now what other effects can we add? We can, of course, add some effects to this one. Let's go ahead and do that now under Advanced Motion Effects. So entrance, maybe we just want to do a fade in for this one. We'll leave that. Now, of course, you do have delays here. So what we could do is delay each of these one by one, getting slower and slower. So let's actually do that now. Let's do the second one. So this image here, or I say second one, the first tile, but the second container in this section here. So let's go with this one. Let's add a motion effect. We'll leave that as a fade in. Fade in. And then we'll change that to 200 milliseconds. So that is 0.2 seconds. And we'll do the same with this one. We'll change the advanced here. So motion effects, entrance, fade in. Change the animation delay to 400. And then we'll do this one will be 600. You get the idea. Motion effects, entrance animation, fade in 600. This one will be 800. Advanced, motion effects, fade in animation, and then 800. And then finally this one will be 1 second. So motion effects, entrance animation, fade in, delay 1000. So that is that taken care of. And lastly, what we can do with these little faces dotted around, we could move them around as we scroll up and down. So we actually have a cursor effect on these ones, right? So we've got some cool effects going on with those. Let's do these. Let's add a scroll effect to these images here. So let's select the first image. We can come down to motion effects, going to turn on scroll, and then let's go with horizontal. So he moves like that. I'm going to actually change that speed so that it's much slower, maybe just 1. 1 is better. Let's go with the second one. So this one we can come to advanced, come to motion effects, and then we'll go to scrolling, and this time we'll do a vertical scroll. Let's change that to 1 again so that it scrolls like that. Now let's come to this one. Let's come to advanced, let's come to motion effects, scrolling. Let's do this one vertical as well. So we'll change that to 1, but this time we'll change the direction to down. And then lastly, this one, advanced, we'll come to motion effects, going to come to scrolling, going to come to horizontal, going to make that 1, and we're going to change the direction to right. So as we scroll now, all of them are moving in a different direction. That looks pretty cool as well, I thought. So that is that taken care of. So what we want to do now really is see how this all looks. So let's just update our website. And then what we can do, we can actually just preview this, can't we? So let's see how it looks as we scroll down our page. So of course that image is that video is loading in the background. So as we scroll down, this slides in, that slides in. As we come in, these all fade in one by one. That's pretty cool. And all of these are moving. So pretty cool website, I would say. So that is a pretty fancy homepage there. Of course, we've covered a few new different elements there that we can play around with. Some more advanced video backgrounds with borders. So lots of stuff to play around with. That is our homepage taken care of. We are going to start working on our case studies page next, where we are going to be deep diving into the world of dynamic content and working with some custom post types.